Welcome, KD Custom Woodworking, fastest growing woodworking channel on YouTube, maybe, but I like to think so. For those that are subscribed, thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. What I'm here today is, I think I'm guilty of procrastination. You get in a wood shop, and sometimes if you're by yourself, you have a helper, and you want to get the little job, and you want to do another little job or whatever, and then you just say, okay, I'll get through. And you kind of you don't see how messy the shop can build up. So what I'm going to show today is I'm getting serious with my dual saw setup and getting dust collection. I couldn't have the main duct, if you look down here. Look, I got the machinery on the main duct or whatever. Whatever. That's, there's no whatever. With these hoses are like 1.25 inches, all right? And the other ones, they need like 4 inches. You can't have a central dust vac picking up these saws or small machines. It's just the way it is. What it is, it's simple. You can't compress the air. Like you can't take one of those, it goes by static pressure. If I'm not explaining it properly, please jump in. But it's static pressure, meaning the air moving with the fan. And then that air can't be compressed. That's why those little vacuums are night and day. They're not even really in the same category. So getting it to small machines, it's very hard to connect. Okay, what I mean by that is you can't go long with those hoses. They tend to lose so much power and then they become useless. So I'm here today. I had enough. I make God knows how many cuts I make. And if you want to come back here, let's take a look. All right. I started cleaning up, and even with this fills up. And sometimes I'm just like, okay, one more cut. And you might say, well, Dunphy, you're pretty messy, eh? Well, you're under deadlines. Try getting cabinets for a boat, and you got 1 week to install, or they got to be ready in 3 weeks. Sometimes you got these delays, and you just keep going, and then you don't have time to hook it up. I just finished the wall unit, so now I'm taking time out, and I'm going to go to the house to work on the outside. So I want to get out of here. So what I've done here is I got dual plug. All right. What I mean by dual plugs is I got 2 separate power sources. So because if I hook this to a regular shop vac and run these at the same time, I'm just going to blow a fuse. I think these run at about 12 amps. The vacuum's only about 6 amps. So that's 21 amps. Even if I had a 20 amp breaker, I don't think I'd want to run it. Because when these things go, they kind of like, you know, if you ever seen it, sometimes you see lights flickering. That's it, just pulling in the power. So here, I'm going to have the vacuum over here, but I'm getting the separator. I got a metal drum. If you have a house, get a metal drum. I'm going to say it out loud, and I'm going to say it to a lot of people. If you got a home workshop, or even if you're starting out, this stuff is probably the most flammable going. Like by rights, I should not have this like this. Right now, if my insurance company saw this, they probably freak on me because the rest of the shop's pretty good. You know, if you went there with just a lighter, this thing would just go whoof. So I say get a metal one, get a big one. I know they have those ones, and they have like a little plastic bucket with it and things like that. I think they want like $100 for the plastic bucket. You can get this drum. I had a guy give it to me. He cleaned it out, and I think he charged $100. Okay, so I have this hooked up. I only put 3 here. And there's you see there, vacuum right there, hooked up. Can hook up to my tools right here. Away I go. I finally got fed up with this thing being loose. So I used hot glue. And you can see right there. So I was just tired of that coming loose. So I'm pretty good quick connect. I have this extension cord right here. So I can plug in the tools. They can go auto right here. So when the tools go on, the vacuum goes on. I switched out the vacuum from this one. This one's a lot more expensive. Makita. It has a smaller motor, cooler. The exhaust is kind of like right around here. All right. What I found compared to this one, shop vac, this one I think is about 8 amps compared to the other one. I can go right here. Yeah, this one's 12 amps, my mistake. All right. This one here is about 6 amps. And you might say, well, what does that really matter, eh? Okay. Right there. So let me see, 120 volts. They're going 1,000 watts. I don't know why they don't give you the amps, but 1,000 watts, the last time I checked, is, what's that, about 8? 6? All right. So I got a better flow. The one thing you have right here, this is the exhaust on the motor. It gets hot, everything else. I'm running it right now without the filter because of this. So what I'm going to do is drill a hole right there and vent this outside. Okay, let's recap what I've done. So I only have 3 ballast gates here, 2 for the saws. I got 1 floating one here that'll hook in for these tools. They're all ready, like this is the Makita fitting here, and they'll just snap into each one. Except for this one, I'm still on I had to modify this, and I still got a little work. I gotta come up with something a little better. So that's decent. These hand tools, I use about 90% of the time on that. So now I'm well equipped. And over here, this is the big one. The exhaust going outside. What exhausts here is a fine filter. Even with this, the Ornate, and it says, yeah, it's God's gift to vacuum. The fine dust is going to go back in there and into your shop. So if I had an opportunity like this, I went for it. And I'm very happy. I can leave it like this. I don't think you want to get it and move it. Like this shop vac, I mean, you can get it for $120 and just leave it. I don't know how long it's going to last being flipped on. I don't think the motor is that good. But the CFMs is really good. Like that thing really pulls. It's 1 week in, because sometimes when you set it up and then living with it for a week, might make a difference. I was making speaker boxes all week, so I wasn't using it huge, but I was using enough. I'm very happy with it. I get a little bit kicking out in front here, like if you want to come and take a look. Right? I don't think I can stop it all. I know I've seen some of the other ones closed, and then, but then, you need a cyclone, you need something a lot bigger to close it up. And like I said, I've been down that road before, and I've tried to enclose a machine that wasn't designed to be enclosed, if that makes sense, because this isn't designed. This is where they want you to take the dust. They got a little funnel, comes out the back of the blade. So I think you're always going to have that little bit of dust kicking around. I guess that's just the nature of the beast. But definitely, this has brought it down. Like I said, get the bigger vacuum, and because you run this thing, you're going to have ear protection anyway. So I used it for the rotor. I had it hooked here on the second, ballast gate. I open and close it. It's not too bad for reaching. It's out of the way. I had no problems with the hoses moving. They worked great. I rigged this little thing here, tape. It came with this, I don't know, this leather thing, and it used to always get caught here on our fences. And we kind of put it away. I remember I had employees at the time. I don't know where it ended up. I don't want to blame them, but so that's a bit rickety. But in the back, hardly any dust. And lastly, you want to hear this? Like when that goes, you can hear that. For 1 minute. So it goes for what, an extra 20-30 seconds after. So anything flying around. I can't ask for better on that, because if I had a fan here and I was doing 1-2 cuts, I might not like walk over, turn it on, turn it off. So it's fantastic. And I had to put a bar here, and this is rigged up so if I plug in any of my other tools, they'll automatically kick in. So yeah, what's not like about it? I think if you have a workshop and you're getting a little more serious, get yourself a station. I know probably back in my old days when I was starting off, I wouldn't have had 2 saws or 3 saws. So I'd probably have to take this to a job site. That's the only drawback when you have that. It's hard to really get contained, because what are you going to do? You're going to take this out, start disconnecting this, bring it back, connect it, and then you got to line this up with your fence, which isn't going to happen. So that's all I really got to say is everybody's a little different. I don't think there's one setup that's going to end all. Just remember, when you do these things, do not reduce them. Try to keep like 2-inch. We used just plain sewer 2-inch pipe there to hook into that. It fit really nice. That was left over from God knows how long, and so I reused it. Don't go down here and use sewer pipe and do the thing. Leave it flexible. These things are easy to pop out, so that's not a big deal. And the number one thing, I'm going to say it again, vent that out. Vent that outside. You get your garage or whatever, get the wall. I mean, a little bit of dust is not going to make a big difference outside. But especially in a small shop, that's going to save your ass. And if you're doing a lot of rotoring. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Thank you for the support. I hope this helps somebody. And next week we're going to do speaker boxes. I have them together. I'm kind of like hitting a wall right now in the subwoofer part. So hopefully by next week I got that figured out. Thank you.